My name is Bill Valerio, and I am the director of Woodmere Art Museum. I'm in the galleries alone today. I'm in the museum alone today. It's me and security. Everyone is home, and I'm offering a virtual tour of an exhibition we've organized called Fully Saturated. It's a show about art and color and the way artists use color to tell all different kinds of stories, to express a range of emotions using color. Fully Saturated is a show we conceived and planned in the fall of 2019. We were looking ahead to the gray days of January, February, and March, imagining that the bright colors of the exhibition would lift spirits. Little did we know how much that lift would be needed. I'm recording this on Sunday, March 22nd, which was supposed to be the last day of the exhibition, but it has been closed along with all of Woodmere for more than a week. Woodmere is all about the artists of Philadelphia, and when I think about color and the museum's collections, my thoughts go straight to Arthur B. Carles, an artist who was deeply influential not just in our city, but all across American art. Carles lived near Woodmere in Chestnut Hill on Evergreen Avenue, but he also lived for several periods of time in the first decades of the 20th century in Paris. And he is among the artists credited with bringing European modernism, the European avant-garde, to the United States. Looking at Woodmere's abstract bouquet of 1939, the dynamic forms of Cubism are apparent, but so are the intense, saturated colors of Fauvism and the dynamic shapes and movements of Italian Futurism. Carles was also known as a great teacher, and on view in Fully Saturated are several works of art by his students. Elizabeth Berger paints an image of Carles's studio where she took classes, and she makes the floor red. This is a gem of a painting that's all about the relationship of colors throughout a composition. Different reds, different oranges, react with different greens, different blues, and different yellows. Another Carles student, Jessie Drubert, paints a European interior that she probably visited on vacation. She also paints a bright red floor, but with an equally powerful yellow wall. The vivid contrasts suggest a creative intensity, as if whatever is inspired by the view out the window or gets written on the dainty writing desk will have some kind of magical energy that comes from the intense color. Morris Blackburn, another Carles student, went straight to abstraction early in his career with compositions of linear patterns and shapes that glow. A similar approach of using line to define patterns of color was adopted by Roland Ayers, who used bright magic marker to express the psychedelic energy of the 1970s. The exhibition also shows how artists experimented with color, technique, and process all at the same time. Murray Desner bought tubs of plain latex medium, a kind of white, milky liquid resin that became commercially available in the early 1970s. He mixed it with his own powdered pigments and poured buckets of this homemade synthetic paint onto large canvases rolled out across the floor of his studio. Stuart Netsky also mixed enamel pigment with a plastic medium and poured it over aluminum to create his great Thunder Over the Sky. Bill Scott is a friend of mine and a wonderful artist working in Philadelphia today. Bill is passionate about the history of artists who inspired him, Arthur Carles among them. Several artists who were Carles' students were Bill's own teachers, and at Woodmere we love to demonstrate the transformations that occur over time with these generational legacies in our city's arts. Artists who were in turn Bill Scott's own students are included in the show. Ben Passion, for example, is represented by a landscape-like painting that bursts with juicy color and luxurious paint. It alternates between an illusion of depth and a snow-capped mountain in the distance, and a tangle of paint strokes that make for a flattened surface of high energy in the foreground. Passion is the lucky man to be married to artist Mika Turin, who depicts her husband with bright colors that expressed his humor, his energy, his sweetness, and his life force. Speaking of force, Franny McGuire, who also took classes from Bill Scott, squeezes paint right from the tube onto the canvas. For Franny, thick paint and vibrant color is an expression of spirituality and the joy of life. Color can be playful when applied in patterns that suggest a fragmented view of a figure in sunglasses, as in the work of Libby Gladfelter. Or color can seem to fight against itself, simultaneously mysteriously transparent and exuberantly bold, as in a painting on view by Dennis Alter. This split personality that color can have within a painting is also at work in Juri Kim's canvas, where a controlled grid of red and orange dots coalesces from a distance into a fiery surface. No artist that I know has the same kind of touch with paint and color as Liz Osborne, who can make forms seem to glow with the perfection and luminous radiance of nature. Magda Fatale uses color to make a landscape flow like water, or Raymond Teal uses color to make a landscape drip with enigma. The pastoral world of Bucks County is a patchwork quilt of color in the hands of Joseph Barrett. Going back to abstraction, for Edna Andrade, who was as precise of a technician as there ever was, color plays games with the viewer's eye. She could create optical patterns that have the effect of popping off the canvas. Bill Campbell uses patterns of hard-edged shapes and optically contrasting green and red color to create the illusion of three-dimensional geometry. Joe Amoratico also loved the optical effects of jumping colors, and he uses color to make his architectural robot-like figures seem almost human, complicated. Color can be joined with forms that express the idea of a journey, as if through a beautiful garden, and I see that in the work of Ruth Fine. The hot red, orange, green colors of Mitzi Melnikoff's hand-colored woodcut engulf a figure in an interior of organic energy. Whereas the opposite happens in a hand-colored etching by Sarah McEnany. The cool blue of a car interior creates the idea of an expansive space. It opens up and accommodates the artist and her dog in luxury as they drive across the country, listening to the cassette tapes of the time along the way. Philadelphia is an illustration city, and illustrators might choose bold color to tell stories for children, as Charles Santori does in this watercolor he made for TV Guide. Or Trina Shard-Hyman associates bright, warm colors in the foreground with a figure who is her protagonist, and she carries her viewer's eye across a cool blue sea to fiery tones of a vanquished monster. Jerry Pinkney combines intense red with jagged yellow forms, musical notes, and a rainbow of lettering to express the syncopated rhythms of jazz performance, just as abstract painter Mo Brooker is thinking about jazz and gospel music with his painting titled I Can't Stop From Singing. That's every artist in the exhibition, fully saturated but one. And I close this video with the work of Gilbert Lewis. One of the lead realist painters of Philadelphia in his time, he was an amazing colorist. He often uses color to secure the human figure to the stark environments that he creates, and he even expresses some irony, I believe, with color. Here, a young man with death tattoos and a green cityscape t-shirt sits on a red chair with floral patterns of vines and flowers. There is much unknown right now, so I can't say when Woodmere will be reopening its doors. But for now, I hope you have enjoyed Fully Saturated, a show that was cut short. On the behalf of Woodmere's entire staff, trustees, docents, and volunteers, stay safe, and may you and yours be well.